Ready? Good evening and welcome to the Fairmont Area School Board meeting. For roll call, all members are present with the exception of Mike Edmond. Please join me for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have before you the minutes from the July 22nd and the August 5th meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 22nd meeting.
I'll second it. Do you also make the motion for the August 5th meeting as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll second it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. For the agenda, you have a green agenda before you with the changes noted.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda for our August 12th school board meeting.
Thank you, Mari. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jen. We have a motion by Mari, second by Jen, to approve the amended agenda as presented for this meeting, August 12th. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. We have no celebrations or community reports, so we will move on to the superintendent's report and calendar.
Thanks, Nicole. Just a couple updates. We'll do a comprehensive summary of projects and buildings and grounds updates at our next August meeting, closer to the start of the school year. Just an update for the referendum for anyone who watches the recording here, and for the minutes that our Fairmont referendum website, fairmontbond.com, is now live. There are going to be connections on our website to that. There are a lot of information there regarding the referendum and the projects associated with it, as well as some tax impact calculation tools that people can view and have the ability to provide feedback. And if anyone has any questions, again, you can contact the district office and or email myself directly, and we'll make sure we get back to any constituents in a timely manner. Additionally, last Friday and just yesterday, we held our back-to-school registration event. Just wanted to say a big thank you to all the staff and volunteers that made the event possible. We had a great turnout and are definitely looking forward to the upcoming school year. New teacher orientation. Our principals led our new teachers starting today, but throughout this week in their first introduction to the school district. That learning was led by the administrative team. They'll also have the ability tomorrow to engage with their teacher mentors, access their classrooms, do things to start getting settled. And we're definitely excited to welcome this new group of 8 new teachers. And one item of note, this group is the lowest total number of new classroom teacher hires that we've had in the last 20 years. With 8 new teacher hires. We've had as many as close to 20 in any given school year, and prior to this, I think in 2016, I think we had 11 hires. So this year is our lowest, or I guess I would call it our highest retention rate going into the upcoming school year. So definitely a positive there. With that, our next board meeting is August 26th. That'll be right before, it'll be the week that our teachers come back. They come back August 25th, and then the following week our students will be back. So it's
Great.
coming closer and
The year
closer.
begins. Thank you. Any questions for Superintendent Tradow? All right, we'll move on to financial business. Jessica?
Yes, so you have the wire and transfers from July 17th to August 6th and the August 12th bills in front of you. There's quite a bit of payments for all of the building and ground projects going on. So does anybody have any specific questions on any of the bills at all?
No? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the wire transfers for 7/17/25 to 8/6/25 and the August 12th, 2025 bills.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Jen, a second by Shayna. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, from new business, we have the student handbook. Principal Rosen is going to share with us.
Kathy, and good evening to everybody. For our handbook, I just also want to note, it's listed to you guys as a student handbook, but in the elementary, we do call it a family handbook, just because it's expected that the family's reading it for the students, not just the student handbook. So that's one little difference I just noticed as I was looking at Sarah's notes. I didn't have a lot of changes this year to add. The one thing on page 5 with busing, talking with Minnesota Motor Bus, they would prefer kids are not eating and drinking on the bus. On before, there's been a lot of mess and things like that, so we're going to try to have no food on the bus with that. So that got added to the handbook. With the nuisance items, different things that could cause distractions in the classroom. We also did put the smartwatches and devices in there. It wasn't listed, so I specifically put that in just to remind parents that's something we do not need to have in the elementary school. It can become a nuisance for their child and the rest of the kids. So to keep that at home. The other things were some really minor changes. We noticed the door drop off for Prime. So please remember, Prime is at our school after school. It's the CER after school program. They used to pick up in the back part of the building. Now they go to door 21 and come in and sign out their child right there by door 21. So just tweaked a few things that needed to tweak a few names. Our deans, which there are 2 in the elementary students, are just deans of students. We're not going to have them for specific grade levels. They're both going to be doing some work that way. If we have more needs in the upper or the lower, they can both tackle that instead of expecting just one dean to handle that. So both Sean and Scott will just be considered deans of students. Amy and Carly, our social workers here, though, they do cook more with grade levels just because they try to get that family, especially in the pre-K, and then work with them for 3 years and things like that. So there's a little change there. I noticed Kelly Fisher wasn't listed as our special ed coordinator in the building and wanted to make sure people knew that. And then we just found some places where there was still a Judy Kapishki and a Jean, so that rereading is always really good, and so updated name changes, and then just put that I am the early childhood through 6th grade principal, not early childhood through 2nd grade this year. So those are my changes. Any questions?
All right, thank you. Now we'll have Principal Brusky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Trado, for having us tonight. You should have a summary of the changes from the handbook. There were several at the high school. I'll kind of just go through some highlights here, and then if you have any other specific questions, feel free to ask. The first is a slight bell change. It really doesn't change our start and end time, but based on teacher feedback, having the announcements to be at the beginning of an hour versus at the end helps with students being able to hear it, and also serves as an indicator that class is starting. So that's been one change. In partnering with Officer Payne, our SRO at the high school, we've had some issues in the parking lot with students parking in specific areas that they're not supposed to. It didn't say anything in the handbook about ticketing for those types of offenses, which they are ticketable. And so making sure that is cited in our handbook so that there are no surprises and ahead of time. So we want to make sure we're clear and transparent on possible consequences. We talked a little bit about energy drinks, and the wording changed is that it's not encouraged instead of prohibited and enforced, just due to how difficult it is to patrol, specifically with energy drink infused beverages brought in that might be from a local business. It's hard to really differentiate, and so, but we do not promote energy drinks. We had a long conversation about the size of bags permitted in class and in the hallways. After much debate, we talked about what would a standard size be that would allow for carrying some personal items, and we went with the size of a standard tissue box or smaller. We also added on page 9 from our policy 502, section 2, part B, is the personal possessions or students themselves may be searched by school officials based on reasonable suspicion. In the past, that has not been in the handbook. However, it is a board-adopted policy, so just making it clearer and more accessible to families to find that that is something that the school can do. We do find ourselves doing that from time to time, specifically when it comes to contraband that might endanger other students. Language was added. This is probably the biggest one, prohibiting personal devices at school that do now include any access to social media, messaging apps, or inappropriate content. And so it used to be related strictly to cell phones. Now it's personal devices that include iPads and other tablets, personal laptops, earbuds, other devices like that. We have seen an increase in those being used in the classroom, and also the original purpose of the cell phone policy was to cut down on cyberbullying, and we have noticed that there has been an uptick in that by the use of personal devices, mostly because, and accessing inappropriate content because they don't go through our firewall, and we don't get indication if there's bullying or threatening language being sent between students. Now, our PSEO students and our CIS students, in some cases, do need access to a personal computer in order to access certain programs that might be flagged by our firewall. And for that reason, in PSEO courses and CIS courses, a personal device will be permitted. We added that for the cell phone policy, that if you are a 9th through 12th grade, you can use that cell phone in front of your locker, not the entire hallway. Hopefully that helps with creating clearer expectation. And we are revisiting both the devices and the cell phones with our students and our staff to create greater consistency in our enforcement of that, specifically since the state has come out and said that schools have to have an active policy. We updated the consequences to better reflect the state's suggestions, so the phone stays in the office on the first offense instead of just a warning. Parent picks it up on the second one. On the third one, it's going to be picked up and the phone stays in the office for 10 days. That is something we started doing with our habitual phone users, and it has been effective in curbing some of that. And then lastly, this is no real change, but if it continues, then we have a meeting as a team with the guardians, the administration, and the student to come up with a personalized plan for the student and do a little more seeking as to why this continues to be an issue. 12 and 13 really just explicitly lays out the use of thinking reports, which is a piece of our education to help with behavioral education and help with behavioral issues in the classroom and elsewhere in the building. We added that truancy may be filed instead of will be filed, because we do have students who struggle with attendance but show improvement. So by changing it from will to may, it provides us the flexibility to work with individual families and students based on their needs instead of an automatic. And then attendance policy consequences. We do assign detentions. However, if there's a mistake, if an appointment was made and the parents didn't call it in, they have 48 hours to write that attendance. After 48, the attendance can still be fixed. However, the consequence for detention still applies. A big reason for that is that the housekeeping of keeping track of detentions and being served. If we're going back and clearing things from months ago, it gets very cloudy. And so this becomes very clear, and hopefully through our communication with parents that they call in within those 2 days to make sure that attendance is cleared up. Add drop for classes has been changed from 5 days to 3 days, and that's through consultation between the handbook committee and the counseling department to make sure those changes can still happen. However, it allows our staff, instead of an entire week before rosters are solid, now it's 3 days, so that we gain 2 additional instructional days of knowing exactly who's in our classes. Modified learning is on 17. This was out of some conversations on the leadership team of what is the difference between modified learning and in-school suspension. And so modified learning, our goal is to provide a space for a student to process, de-escalate, and then return back to class as fast as possible, where in-school suspension would be used in replacement of out-of-school suspension in cases where we feel the student may be unsafe at home, and therefore the school is a better spot for the students. Ultimately, our goal through discipline is to get kids back into the classroom as fast as possible, but in a state that allows them to focus on their academics and not necessarily the event that happened or what led up to the event. So giving them the resources and the time to kind of process and be ready to go back and engage. Other than that, just some additions of activities and some GPAs, clear information on that GPAs are calculated at end of semester and not quarters. So, any questions? It's a lot that I've read you about. We did have, as part of our handbook committee, some additional conversation on revisiting dress code in the future, and so that will be a topic of conversation for next year.
Any questions for Superintendent Brusky, or sorry, Principal Brusky? I was part of the handbook committee and have served on it many years, and this was the fastest that the committee concluded its work since I've been on the committee. I think it reflects a lot of the hard work that took place 2 years ago, and last year was quicker than the year before, and this year was even quicker, and I appreciate the effort that's being made to make this handbook more understandable, user-friendly, and shorter. And so I think Superintendent Brusky, and I said that twice. He is a superintendent license, just so everybody knows. Principal Brusky, for his, that's good, for his efforts in leading this, this committee. Any questions? All right, then I entertain a motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the elementary and the high school handbooks for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second it.
I think we have a motion by Jen, second by Mari. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item B, under new business.
So the designated absentee voting location, I'll make a motion to approve the designated absentee location to the county auditor's office as the absentee voting location, which is located at 201 Lake Avenue in Fairmont during normal business hours for elections not held on the same day as the statewide election. Absentee voting for the November 4th, 2025 election will begin on September 19th, 2025.
And I'll second it.
I think we have a motion by Jen, second by Mari, to approve the county auditor's office as the absentee voting location for our election that will be held November 4th, 2025. Any discussion?
Just to clarify, that is the courthouse, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yep. Any further discussion or comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Moving on to item C, meal prices.
Meal prices for the 2025-2026 school year are enclosed in Appendix C. First meals for all students are again free this year under the school nutrition program and Minnesota Free School Meals. Adult lunch and second student lunch pricing was increased from $5 to $5.50. Adult breakfast and student second breakfast pricing was increased from $2.40 to $3. I make a motion to approve the meal prices as listed in Appendix C.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Dan, second by Shayna. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. We have the SMEC lease agreement, item D.
The school district's lease for the space in the SMEC building for the use of the community education and recreation is up for renewal. It's recommended that the lease be continued with the city of Fairmont July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. This will provide the authority for Andrew Trado, superintendent, to sign the lease agreement. This lease has no district option for renewal. I'll make a motion to approve entering in the lease agreement effective July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026 with the city of Fairmont to lease the space in the Southern Minnesota Education Campus to house community education and recreation, and to designate Superintendent Trado as an authorized signer for the lease.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mari, second by Jen. Any discussion?
Just add that the rationale for the district not having the option to renew the previous lease agreement gave us the ability to cite a desire to renewal. With the building being up for sale, there's a lot of uncertainty for future occupancy and use. Also in there, it did solidify that in the event the city sold the building, we would have a 90-day notice to make a transition back to a school district or another lease space within our community to house our community education and recreation. So just a little additional anecdotal information there. And we will be, another difference is we will be, it's cited as a monthly lease for the same amount that we were paying monthly prior. So
Okay.
no increase in the district's financial commitment for the lease either.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Superintendent Trado? And if there's no further discussion, I'd entertain a motion. I'll entertain a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Personnel resignation, we have a resignation of Jonas Nissen, high school English teacher, effective August 22nd, 2025. Jonas has been employed since September 2nd of 2016. I make a motion to accept his resignation.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion by myself, second by Mari. Any discussion?
I know Jonas is in the room,
Mhm.
but I would also just like to say thank you for your years of service to the district. I remember the scenario and the exact day when you started in 2016, and he happened to be working at the Opera House at the time and had a background and a degree that allowed him some flexibility to step back into the classroom after some experience at the collegiate level as well. So our kids have definitely benefited from that expertise, and whether you're in the room or not tonight, Jonas, I'd say that, but thank you for your years of service to the district, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
And I'd like to say how much I've appreciated Mr. Nissen as an English teacher. He's a phenomenal English teacher with a fantastic background. And he did do a winter play one time that was actually, I believe, written by him. And it was brilliant. It was Shakespeare with a narration on the side, and it was brilliant. And so we are going to miss having you here, not only for your English and your play experience, but also the recording and the tutelage that you've given to our students for their recording and involvement in the audio-video production here and at the school. So thank you. You'll be very missed.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we have a retirement, item B, and Mike is not here, so I will make the motion to approve the retirement of Mark Borchardt. He is the high school head building custodian effective October 8th of 2025.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion by myself, second by Mari. Any discussion?
I'll just add to, Mark has been a pillar in our district and the custodial staff for a long time. He has been both in a principal role and as I've been in the superintendency, has just been super great to work with, and him along with the entire CMP staff, because of what they do, our buildings continue to look like they do. and has done just a great job. So we wish Mark all the best. We get to work with him for a couple more months here, and are working currently with Tyler Garrison to develop a transition plan for what that leadership role is going to look like, with posting internally for sure to follow. But again, just thank you to Mark for all of his years of service, and I believe he plans to stay in the community, so I hope we continue to see him around school and at our events.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Employment, Mike's not here. Would someone like to introduce those?
I can do that.
Thank you, Jen.
I will make a motion to approve the following employments that's been recommended by Principal Brusky and Principal Schultz. For Andrea Stitch, high school paraprofessional, step 1, effective 8/20/25. Samantha Kern, high school paraprofessional, step 1, effective 8/20/25. And Jill Dragamiller, high school paraprofessional, step 1, effective 8/20/25.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Jen, second by Mari. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. And we have item 2.
I can introduce that.
Thank you.
Fairmont Fall Athletic Coaching Schedule is in Appendix D. I'd like to welcome Andrew Moeller as head cross-country coach, moving up from assistant. And we also have 5 others that will be joining us, including Stacy Garbers, our new head volleyball coach as well. So I make a motion to approve the athletic coaching schedule as offered in Appendix D.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Dan and a second by Mari to approve the fall sports team coaching list in Appendix D. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I don't believe we had any committee reports, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you,
I'll
Dan.
second it.
Thank you, Mari. Motion by Dan, second by Mari. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.